Hey guys, welcome back to Lume Keeps. Today we're going to talk about how to put filmed switches into your keyboard. Specifically, we're going to talk about some of the more tighter tolerances on these housing switches. For example, a Tangerine, which already has a very tight housing tolerance. When we film these, sometimes the legs will be slightly more splayed out because the housings were originally very tight to begin with. With the film, to make it even tighter, the legs end up being pushed out slightly. That being said, it still makes a very big difference when you film these switches. It tightens up the tolerances even more in terms of your stem wobble, as well as changes the sound. So there's still benefits to filming these. The only thing you have to then be aware of is when inserting these switches, there's a certain technique to it, especially if your plate is tighter. Right, so each of these keyboard plates have different tolerances in terms of how wide the hole is. And so on some of the keyboards which have a more tighter tolerance, you might have more issues putting that in. So today we're going to teach you how to do that. So first, let's talk about why that causes an issue. And we're going to use this Lume Switch Tester Tray to demonstrate. So as you can see, when you're trying to insert the switch, if the legs are slightly splayed, the legs are kind of pushing against the sides of the hole, and it's not letting you put it in, right? So what you do then is you first push one side in. So on this example, we're going to push the right side in, right? Then use something like a pair of tweezers to then push this side in, and then lastly the bottom, push that in a little bit. Voila, now your switch is in. And once it's in, it's perfect, right? It just holds it, the plate holds it in, and it's not going to cause any more issues. The biggest tricky part is really how to put the switch in, right? So we're going to show this on our QK65 real quick. So it's not going in. The legs, as you can see, is slightly pushed out. So once again, right side in slightly. And then we are going to use a pair of tweezers. First the front, so now our front's in, and now the back, and now the switch is in, right? Now that the switches are in, you want to make sure that it is flat and level, so that you don't bend your pins, right? It's important to make sure it's now flat. Then you can push that switch in, and it will lock in place. The next part to be aware of as well, and I didn't show this here, is that you should always be supporting the back of your PCB when you're inserting switches so that you don't end up destroying your hot swappable sockets. On this one, we're just going to do a quick demonstration. Also, this one has support below the PCB in this case, so I didn't do that, but generally speaking, always support the bottom of your PCB when you put your switches in. That's how you put switches which are filmed for the tighter housings into your keyboards. It's quite a simple process once you get used to it. It's really just the extra step of kind of pushing the legs in a little bit, and that's all there is to it. So, happy building your keyboards, and stay safe out there. Happy holidays.